Taking a step back and looking at Dead Island 2 as a whole, there's a lot of great things about it, but the thing that surprised me most is the linear level design. I know many folks hate the idea of it. They'd prefer a big vast open world with 80 side quests, tons of things to do and discover, but truthfully, I was really caught by surprise by the level of detail in some of these locations. I think Dead Island 2 is one of many examples that prove that with enough variety in the locations, you don't need to go big, at least in world size. Instead, Dead Island 2 did what the recent God of War games did very well. They throw you into linear open worlds so that you could travel back to, find mini objectives, but overall this leads to the map getting much more detail and smarter mission design, which is the main thing. Of course, I do love the idea of being able to take on any mission in any way I desire. It's a nice freedom, but only when it's built around a solid mission structure. With Dead Island 2, you do find yourself following a set path a lot of the time, but the game does throw a lot at you to make it feel much more open. To be honest, for as great and as open as Venice Beach is, there are some sections that do feel lifeless, which of course in a zombie apocalypse makes sense, but I almost feel like there should be more of a roaming challenge. A few runners come around occasionally, but there's usually not a ton. Regardless though, it nails LA beautifully, really bringing it to life in numerous ways. A few years back I visited LA, so seeing some familiar locations was honestly a highlight. But in the back of my mind, I will admit, we have seen a lot of this 10 years ago in Los Santos. The thing that really makes Dead Island 2's LA really stand tall is the smaller details in the world. You have laboratories or military zones you could come across that gives us hints about how the virus spread. Or there's graffiti that tells us of a higher power, one that I'll be theorizing about more in the future. I can't think of another game recently besides Resident Evil 4 Remake that really made me stop and appreciate the environment. Also, got to love the imaginative map design for each location. There are house alarms, puzzles, safes, lots of secrets, and really a lot to keep me going back for quite a while. I do feel like there's maybe a few extra paths and some things that could be expanded in a few levels, but overall it's pretty great as it is. With 2 story DLCs confirmed to come in the future, I do expect we'll be getting a few new levels to free roam and explore. Anyways though, that's all for me for today. Feel free to like the video, subscribe if you want, join the Patreon for content sooner, and stop by next time.